From Johnny leading the Cobra Kai dojo once again, to a whole new villain, Colonel Paul Dugan, being introduced. These are the craziest band predictions for Season 6 of Cobra Kai, starting with Johnny leading the dojo again. The Cobra Kai dojo, once the hero in its own twisted way, has gone back to being the villain again. The coolest thing about Cobra Kai was how it turned the story on its head. It took the focus away from Daniel and put it on Johnny. I mean, who would have thought? Cobra Kai actually became the ones helping the Karate Kid this time around. Johnny Lawrence and his dojo gave Miguel the confidence he needed to kick some serious butt. It's like history repeating itself, like Mr. Miyagi did with Daniel and the Karate Kid. But things took a turn. Ever since Kreese came back, Kai went back to being the villain once again. Johnny hasn't been its sensei since Season 2, when Kreese swooped in and took over his spot. And then Terry Silver shows up, making Johnny even more distant from his original dojo. It's like the universe just loves messing with them. Now here's the thing, it wouldn't make any sense for a show named after the Cobra Kai dojo to end with Cobra Kai being the ultimate bad guy. Nah, that's just too predictable. Instead, it would be way better if everything went full circle again, with Johnny being the one who becomes Cobra Kai's sensei once again. I mean, the show started with Johnny reopening Cobra Kai to help Miguel, and now it's time for him to step up and take charge again. Johnny will need to be the one to tie the knot with Carmen. I mean, it's kind of obvious. We already have a literal baby on the way, so it would only make sense for them to finally get married. I can already envision Johnny teaching the little one the crane kick before they even learn to crawl. Future All-Valley champion in the making, anyone? The universe seems to have aligned perfectly, because things are looking brighter than ever between Miguel and Robbie. The rivalry has been put to rest, and they're finally seeing eye to eye. It's like a truce in the dojo, and they've realized that teamwork makes the dream work. And the poster child for that whole collaboration would have to be Robbie. He might just be the one to win the Sekai Takai. In the world of Cobra Kai, we've seen a bunch of kids go back and forth between Cobra Kai's no mercy mindset and the more peaceful ways of Miyagi-Do. But out of all the characters, Robbie stands out as someone who's truly found balance. He's like the yin and yang of the dojo world. Back in Season 1 of the show, Robbie was banned from Daniel's dojo and betrayed by Johnny. But that didn't stop him from entering the tournament. No sensei? No problem. Robbie defied all odds and made it to the semi-finals, even with a dislocated shoulder. He gives Miguel a run for his money in the finals, but he ended up letting his anger get to him. And guess what? That emotional baggage cost him the whole championship. Maybe he should have been listening to Mr. Miyagi's wise words about finding inner peace. Now, in Season 4, Robbie finally gets a chance to redeem himself in the All-Valley Finals against Hawk. Revenge is the only thing on his mind, and that's exactly how he lost last time. It was Kenny's transformation that made him realize just how toxic Cobra Kai's teachings really were. He realized Kenny was probably only like this because he introduced him to the world of Cobra Kai. Yikes. And because of the guilt, he ended up losing the finals. Now there are other kids who have also been in both dojos. Robbie's the only one who's managed to perfectly implement both styles in his technique. So it would only make sense for the hybrid fighter to win and represent both of the dojos. Speaking of characters being redeemed, Kreese will probably be the only villain that gets a do-over. These guys have been stirring up trouble since Karate Kid era. That was like 40 years ago, and they're still at it. But here's the thing, Terry Silver doesn't actually see himself as evil, but he'll do just about anything to defeat anyone who stands in between him and his Cobra Kai. But here's the thing, the show's main theme is learning from your mistakes and being redeemed. But after everything Silver has done, it's hard to imagine him being anything but evil. I mean, come on! The guy is practically twirling his mustache, plotting and scheming. Plus, in Cobra Kai Season 5, they dropped a little bombshell that Silver might be terminally ill. That's a tough pill to swallow, no pun intended. And let's not forget when he was ready to face off against Chosen. He was fully prepared to die if it meant the success of the dojo. Even if Silver makes a comeback in Cobra Kai Season 6, I gotta say, his best bet is to be defeated and realize that his Grand Cobra Kai plan will never work. But Kreese, on the other hand, actually has a chance. In the 5th season of the show, we got a glimpse of his vulnerable side. The original Karate Kid villain actually confronted his failures and fears for the first time in the whole saga. It was like seeing a whole new side of him. That therapy scene with Kreese was a game changer. It deconstructed the character in a way that strongly suggests redemption is on the horizon. We might still see him as a villain when the 6th season kicks off, but chances are he might be on the right side by the end of it. But then again, Kreese did escape from prison after that therapy session, leaving all of us looking over our shoulder trying to figure out just where he might pop up from. However, it could also go a completely different way. They could introduce a new character. Back in the first season, it might have seemed like a stretch to imagine Julie showing up. But this show has proven that it's not afraid to bring back Karate Kid characters from the depths of karate history. No cameo is off limits. You know, some reboots out there try to sweep certain parts of their franchise under the rug, like they never happened. But not Cobra Kai. This show embraces the Karate Kid canon with open arms. They've brought back major characters from all 3 Daniel LaRusso Karate Kid films, and now they're just missing one piece of the puzzle: Hilary Swank's Julie Pierce. Now, we have to remember that the 2010 version of the Karate Kid doesn't quite fit into what we call the Miyagi-verse. Jackie Chan got a mention in Cobra Kai, so we know it's all about the original trilogy here. And when it comes to Karate Kid cameos, Julie Pierce is the missing link. She's the key to unlocking that important but often forgotten part of the Karate Kid universe. Since Season 6 is the final season, it's their last chance to give a nod to Julie Pierce. They can't let this opportunity slip through their fingers. Whether it's a quick little cameo or a proper role, it's time for Julie to join the party. Now, I know most of the buzz is about Hilary Swank's Julie Pierce, but hold on to your karate belts because there's another character from the movie who could shake things up. I'm talking about the main villain, Colonel Paul Dugan. Dugan's making a comeback in Cobra Kai Season 6 would send shockwaves all the way to Okinawa. After that humiliating loss against Mr. Miyagi, you just know he's itching for some payback. And what better way to settle the score than showing up at the Sekai Tekkai ready to unleash his karate fury? But wait, it gets even juicier. If Julie Pierce becomes a mentor for Miyagi-Do's students in Season 6, Dugan would have an even stronger reason to go toe-to-toe with her in the tournament. It would be like a showdown of epic proportions, with sparks flying and fists swinging. Who needs reality TV when you have Cobra Kai? Now, here's where things get really interesting. Dugan's timeline suggests that he might have crossed paths with none other than John Kreese and Terry Silver during the Vietnam War. I mean, talk about a karate connection. If that's true, either Kreese or Silver could reach out to Dugan and try to recruit him into their mission to bring down Mr. Miyagi's legacy once and for all. It's like a villain dream team in the making. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, wait, introducing a whole new character like Dugan in the final season? Isn't that risky? Well, you're not wrong. It could potentially dilute the resolution of existing villain arcs. But hey, Cobra Kai loves its surprises and twists. They could still team up Dugan with Terry Silver or Kreese and create one heck of an antagonist out of him. The more bad guys, the merrier. So, from a whole new villain being introduced, to Johnny leading the Cobra Kai dojo once again, these were the craziest fan predictions for Season 6 of Cobra Kai.